All right, welcome, kings and queens. Listen, consider this like a treat because normally I do not come on twice in a day, but it's official. I wanted to hop on really quickly and just share the news with you. It's official. Simon and Porsha are officially married. I think People Magazine released the news like about an hour ago. Ciao. I think this is going to be one for the books, and only time is going to tell how things pan out between those two. Both Simon and Porsha appear to be very good people outside of this marriage, and I'll get into detail of what I mean by appear to be good people outside of the marriage. However, there was so much controversy surrounding their courtship, the engagement, the family show with Porsha, all of that drama between her and Dennis, her trying to fight. And most of that was actually initiated by Porsha, in my opinion. But let's move on. And not to mention, girl, Porsha, we remember how you got Simon, okay? So we didn't forget that you took that lady's husband while smiling in her face on the Real Housewives of Atlanta and sitting in her pool eating her snacks. That's why you can't invite everybody to your house, honey. But anywho, it reminds me of that Kelly Price song. It was like, she was a friend of mine. She left with my man. She lied. She cheat. She used what she could. All of that good stuff. But yeah, let me jump in. But before I do, for those of you who are just tuning in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome. I am Queen Shiba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television. But most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. I don't know about this one, y'all. Normally, there would be a shared happiness and congratulations in order, but something just doesn't seem appropriate about this union, in my opinion. Okay, I don't think it's the age difference either. That's not a problem. She's a grown woman. He's a grown man. But there seems to be this underlying tone I can't quite place my finger on. And I can only hope that Simon isn't setting Porsha up to knock her down. Okay, because he doesn't have a good track record with women based on how I seen him on Porsha's family show and how he talked about his relationships and why they didn't work out. And he even had some like screen time where he claims that he's the saver in the relationship. So from all the kids that you've had and all of the wonderful women that were good enough to have your children, you mean to tell me none of them were wife material or worthy of being a Nigerian princess or queen? Okay, so that one has me scratching my head. And I just hope he's not setting her up to knock her down. But let me highlight a few things that I'm thinking about, and y'all share with me what you think, what you're thinking in the comments, okay? There's a couple of things that I jotted down that I'm like, we're going to have to wait to see how this plays out. The first thing I'm thinking is Porsha has proven to not make solid, rational decisions. In my opinion, Porsha seems to be impulsive, unpredictable, and somewhat controlling based on how I've seen her mostly engage with her family. And then a few years back on Real Housewives of Atlanta, just becoming really physical and short-tempered really, really quickly. And that hasn't seemed to have subsided because it continues to, I don't know the word I'm trying to say, but it continues to make an appearance every now and then, which tells me she doesn't have that wrapped under control. Okay. So that's what I mean by, I'm kind of concerned about the underlying tone. Porsha's very beautiful. We can't take that away from her, but she seems so unsettled in many ways based on the decisions I've seen her make over the course of her reality television career. The second thing that comes to mind for me is this old adage, you lose them, how you get them. And Porsha came in through the back door. And what that means for those of you who may be tuned in, and that's kind of like old fashioned, is when they come through the back door, honey, they leave through the back door. That means you're doing something shady where you can't really put it out and open in the forefront. So allegedly, Porsha started entertaining Simon while he was married, allegedly. It's alleged that she was a sneaky link for Simon while he was married to Fallon And as an advocate for healthy marriages, Black love, and Black families, I'm not really feeling how Porsha wiggled her way into this man's life, if that is true. So that tells me she can be somewhat cold-hearted, because you have to be some kind of wonderful to film in someone's house, eat their food, swim in their pool, and pretend to, hi, nice to meet you, with their husband if you're already physically and intimately engaged with him. Okay? So that tells me she could possibly be a bit cold-hearted. And I think, you know what, I'm going to go on and say Portia's a bit cold-hearted, because girl, I saw you try to swing on somebody's mama. Now, I saw that for myself on camera, and I don't give a care what your reason was, but we don't swing on mamas. We just don't do that, Porsha. And to me, she's a bit of a wild card. She has demonstrated behaviors that we normally see on the Bad Girls Club. I think Porsha is just short of a casting call for Zeus Network, in my opinion. I'm going to leave that there. All right, let me move on to my third point. I think this may be the worst move Porsha could have made for herself, based on her brand, her likability, what she's known for, and how and the package that she brings to the market. Okay, when you think about a product, a personal brand, I think this is probably one of the worst moves she could have made. I think Porsha's stock is more valuable with her as a single woman. That doesn't mean I don't want to see her married. I'm just talking about how she's branded herself and how she's boxed herself in. And I think in Hollywood, if it were a movie role, they refer to it as typecasting. Okay. So based on her personal brand, this may not be the right move for you, girl. I think Porsha possesses this Sex and the City vibe. I can't see her as a traditional housewife. I just can't. And I wonder if Simon is going to eventually want her to become that, because he is a Nigerian man. Okay. And one of the things that he said attracted him to her is because she did something for him. Now, he shared an example. He says, I become so accustomed of taking care of everybody else. And when this girl cooked for me, I mean, that made me feel so special. Simon, I don't know. That's what I'm talking about. Because of how Porsha has branded herself as this Sex and the City girl, y'all, cooking is not a big deal. We'll cook for our neighbor who's sick. So the fact that she cooked him a breakfast and rolled up some cornmeal in a ball and fried it for him, and he thinks that's the best thing, I don't know. And my dog is really acting up in the background, so y'all please forgive me. I think it's cute now because she's sexy and it's cute, and he enjoys her walking around and prancing and making pancakes and frying bacon. But there's a possibility that they could clash later on. I feel like Porsha leads with her seduction, and she can do that. She can do that as a single woman, but there becomes a moment that you have to slightly transition as a married woman. And I don't mean no Weezy Jefferson. What I mean, there has to be just a slight transition, a slight pivot, right? He's going to expect that. Most men do. So it wouldn't surprise me if she has like a challenge with sitting at home, not working, not being in a spotlight, and fading into the background as Simon's wife. There may be more that meets the eye when it comes to this dynamic. If she doesn't return to the spotlight, in my opinion, in the next year or so, I can see her becoming resentful and wanting out. It's alleged that Simon has influenced her to walk away from both Dish Nation and the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Other than that, I'm not sure what we could expect from Porsha, right? If she doesn't return to Real Housewives of Atlanta, if she's not forefront and center, I don't really think she's good at community service. I saw her give it a go for the Black Lives Matter, but other than that, I'm not really sure what realm or space we can see her in. All right, so let's just say Porsha doesn't return to Real Housewives of Atlanta, Dish Nation. We really don't see her in the spotlight over the course of the next 12 months. That's a lot of money to lose based on how she's become accustomed to making her money. Okay, that's a lot of money to lose based on her lifestyle. I'm pretty sure the lavish wedding they've just had, and also that home and the cars and all of that that comes with that. So with no income coming in consistently, we've seen where this has gotten her before with her first union with Cordell, who did her. Okay, Cordell did Porsha, just like Simon did Fallon. Both of those men locked their women out while still married to them, locked them out of the marital home, packed their stuff up like they both lived at a homeless shelter, and returned the boxes to sender. If you ask me, I don't see Simon as an upgrade for Porsha. I see Porsha as an upgrade for Simon. I think that's a downgrade, a step down for Porsha. And I know Simon has a claim to fame. He's allegedly successful. He's allegedly this Nigerian business tycoon. I don't care. To me, it's just not a step up for her. So I think Porsha is making the same mistake, but this time is just dressed up in a suit. Simon's an older man, okay? Good-looking older man, but he's still an older man. And with time, as you mature, you develop a different mentality about life. Porsha's going to want to go out. Porsha's going to want to turn up. Porsha's going to want to have some fun. And Simon may want to be in bed by 8 o'clock. Now, keep in mind, Porsha is that girl. Don't get it twisted. Remember the Bolo audio clips? Yeah, go back and look that up. That's all I'm going to say about that. So Porsha is that girl that likes to have a lot of fun. I don't know. The last thing I want to say, number 5, this could be the decline of her career. When a woman like Porsha, who's known for her sexual prowess, comes off the market to marry an older man, it's like we see it, the wedding, that's great, that's cute. Okay, thanks, next. We're moving on to the next best thing as bloggers, as viewers, because we feel like you're off the market. We lose interest as viewers when you've branded yourself as this sexy, single, independent, financially independent, stable woman. You're no longer working. We don't see you often, right? Out there like we used to. It's really nothing more for us to tune into. So naturally, as viewers, we're going to back away. And I don't want to see a show about their marriage. I've seen the dynamics between those two on Porsha's family, and it was boring. Simon sat there, didn't say anything when he had an opportunity at dinner. He didn't show himself up as a man. And I'm not saying he's one. I'm just saying he just sat there. You know why? Because that level of maturity. So I don't care about Porsha and Simon having their own show. Blah, blah, blah. No, it just wouldn't do it for me over the course of a long period of time. And I don't want to see Simon chasing Porsha around in those Atlanta streets, whisking her away to Cabo so that they can sit on the beach and read a book and have a margarita. No. Or getting tattoos. We saw you get a tattoo and it just didn't fit. Like, Simon, no, we want to see you doing different things instead of tattooing her name on your neck or your back like a 16-year-old boy. So that's what I'm saying when I'm giving those examples. We don't want to see Simon in the club doing shots. It'll just be way off. And I honestly think that they got so much heat from the cheating scandal and how dirty they both did Fallon that they had no choice but to marry. Oh yeah, you're going to have to commit after this, because otherwise it would have been a very bad situation for both of their reputations, particularly Porsha's. So I think Porsha applied that pressure. Yeah, you're going to marry me. You got my name out there. Yeah, we got to make this official. But hey, I'll definitely be tuned in. What do y'all think? I think they look beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ceremonies. But we've seen beautiful ceremonies. We've seen Cynthia Bailey do it twice. We've seen Porsha. We've seen Porsha with different men. We've seen Porsha with Dennis. We've seen it all, y'all. We've seen Kim Zolciak. Some people become so concerned about the ceremony and not the marriage. But all of that is beautiful. But I'll definitely be tuned in. What about y'all? Good luck, Porsha. Oh, pardon my manners. I think this is the part where I'm supposed to say congratulations. Congratulations, girl.